How's it going, everyone? Sanguine9 coming at you here with my modern green-white hexproof deck tech. This is a fun deck to play. It's really strong. Tier 1 keeps up with all the best decks. I go 3-1 and better with this deck at Friday Night Magic consistently. It's great. It's also not too expensive to build. Daybreak, Coronet, Core Spirit Dancer, probably your most expensive cards to get into. I'm sure you guys already have your Path to Exiles, so let's get started here. We got 4 Slippery Bogle. Yes, everybody, it's Bogle, not Bogle. Please don't pronounce it with 2 G's. It only has 1 G. It's Bogle. It's a 1/1 creature with hexproof, so that's kind of the idea here, is to suit up untargetable creatures with a whole bunch of auras so that they can't target them down with Abrupt Decay or go for the throat or anything like that. So it just kind of protects your investment. Up next, we have the 5th to 8th copy of Bogle, essentially. It's Glade Cover Scout, 1/1 hexproof for 1. Except she's foiled out, I prefer her. Maybe I'll replace Bogle when they reprint another 1/1 hexproof. I'm sure it'll happen. Up next, we got 3 copies. This is the correct number to run. You don't want to be plugged up with too many Spirit Dancers, but you want to see them, at least once a game. So 3 copies is correct. She's 1 colorless, 1 white. Core Spirit Dancer gets +2/+2 for each aura attached to it. That's great. But the real reason you run her is whenever you cast an aura spell, you may draw a card. That's bananas. Like, can't be responded to. The second you cast an aura, that trigger goes on the stack. Even if they kill her in response, doesn't matter. You still draw a card. It gets there every time. And yeah, like, you can drop her turn 2, turn 3. Seeing as you have one of your 4, 8, 12, 16 1-drop enchantments in hand. Load somebody up with 3 auras, draw 3 cards, thank you, refill your hand. Like, it's just crazy. Up next, the best, actually, Totem Armor is really good too, but I really like Ethereal Armor. It's 1 white for an enchantment aura, and it gets +1/+1 for each enchantment you control, and has first strike. So that really, really adds up. It's not uncommon to see one of those have +5/+5 on first strike for 1 white. Up next, we got 4 Hyena Umbra. +1/+1 first strike, just like the armor, except it has Totem Armor. So that's really, really good. It says if enchanted creature would be destroyed, instead remove all damage from it and destroy this aura. So if they do have a way around your hexproof, which there are a couple of ways, right? Like, ratchet bomb, things that don't specifically target your creature, then even if they do destroy it, all you do is go, alright, peace out, Umbra, I'll just toss you in the graveyard, my creature's still good, with all the auras attached to it. Up next, we have Rancor. Yes, Rancor, not Rancor, everybody. It's this deck. People butcher the names in this deck consistently. It bugs me. Anyway, Rancor is 1 green. It's been around forever. It's a really good card. Enchanted creature gets +2/+0 and has trample. Already value town for 1 green. But what makes it broken is whenever Rancor is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, return Rancor to its owner's hand. So, recursion, right? Recursion's, in my opinion, the best mechanic in the game. I love it. I love getting creatures back and cards back. It's just, card advantage is king, right? Up next, we have our 5th to 8th copy of Totem Armor, essentially. It's like Hyena Umbra, except it's green, and it gives you reach instead of first strike. So, really good 2nd layer of body armor on all of our creatures. Spirit Mantle, amazing. People don't seem to realize the power of this thing. A lot of lists only run like 1 to 2 copies of it. It's so good. I don't know why you wouldn't run like 3, I think is the correct number. I have this deck tuned out really well. It's consistent. It's taken me a long time to kind of get the right number of things and everything running smooth. But trust me, this runs like butter every time. Spirit Mantle is 1 colorless, 1 white. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1 and has protection from creatures. Like, what? It can't be blocked, targeted, or dealt damage by creatures. I swing for 9/9. You can't block me, you can't target me. It's like GG. It puts a really fast clock on them. Like, what are they gonna do against the Spirit Mantle? They can't even chump block. Like, so good. Cornerstone of the deck, double white, Daybreak coronet. Pretty happy to see this new sexy artwork reprint. It says, enchant creature with another aura attached to it. So you can't throw this down turn 2. It needs to already be enchanted by something else. That's fine. Enchanted creature gets +3/+3, has first strike, vigilance, and lifelink. Like, come on, that's probably the strongest aura in Magic. That's so good. People just facepalm when you cast this card. It's so strong. Lifelink really throws you ahead in the race. Vigilance is nice in case they have threats on the board and need to block next turn. It's perfect. And more first strike. This deck doesn't have any problems getting first strike online, but hey, it's nice to have. Moving along. 2 copies of Unflinching Courage. Again, that's the correct number. It's 3 mana, so you don't want to see multiples of this. It's pretty expensive, but it's worth it. It's 1 colorless, 1 green, 1 white. Enchanted creature gets +2/+2, has trample and lifelink. Both keywords really relevant. The lifelink is my favorite. It throws you way ahead if you're against burn or Eldrazi, like creature heavy meta. It throws you ahead. It's good. Trample's nice too, because even if they chump block, say if you don't have a Spirit Mantle out yet, trample's on over, so it's all good. As you know, like with my mono red burn and whatnot, I'm always a tinkerer, so I play around. I had 1 slot to spare in this deck, so I threw in a Sage's Reverie. It's it's great. I don't think people realize the power of this. It's 4 mana, sure, but look at it. Enchant creature. When Sage's Reverie enters the battlefield, draw a card for each aura you control that's attached to a creature. That includes itself, by the way, everybody. And by turn 4, you should have at least 3 auras already on your dude. So you lay this down and draw 4 cards. Like 4 cards. And if you have a Spirit Dancer out, that's 5 cards. Refills your hand. And I haven't even gotten to the bottom. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1 for each aura you control that's attached to a creature. So it's another copy of like Ethereal Armor for the bottom part. But this draw, like literally 1 game against, I think it was lands I was playing, I drew 6 cards off this thing. 6 cards for 4 mana. And the huge pump. So good. Any more than 1 though is way too risky. It's expensive, but it's all good. And lastly, we're running white. Why not run the best modern white removal spell, I guess? Path to Exile. Exile target creature. They get to search their library for a basic land and put it onto the battlefield tapped. So, and again, 4 of those is too much. 3 is the correct number. You don't want to spend your time, you're not a control deck, right? You don't want to spend your time removing the creatures, but they're there in case they do have huge threats that are going to win them the game. I guess I'll show you the lands really quick. They're not in any specific order. I run 4 Windswept Heaths, 4 Sunpetal Groves, 4 Razorbridge Thickets, 1 Dryad Arbor. This is to fetch in response to, like, say, Liliana of the Veil. Then you can just sacrifice, because it's a land creature, you can just search this up with a Windswept Heath, because it says forest, and sack it to the Liliana instead of your Blade Cover Scout with 5 enchantments on it. So, and then I think I run 4 Temple Gardens and a couple of basics. What is it? 2 plains, 1 forest. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Let me know what you think. Leave comments below. I'd really appreciate it if you subscribed and liked and all that good stuff. And I've got more deck techs to come and gameplay videos and all that good stuff. So have a good one. See you around.